Chapter 9. A door burst into pieces within a room made out of black stone. In stepped Garyx Kane, wielding two identical greatswords. "That sword is truly amazing," commented a dark figure sitting on a throne in the back of this room. The two locked eyes. Garyx walked towards the dark figure. "Yep. It is going to kill your goddess Loth, but first, it kills you, of course." Chuckling, the dark figure waved his hand. The sword slipped out of the hands of Garyx, falling to the floor. The mage ceased his walking to look at his hands. "That's an interesting ability." Bending down to pick them back up, his hands passed through them. Now we are going to have fun, you and I." Pointing at Garyx, the dark figure stood up. "Without that sword, you are nothing." Laughing, the mortal responded, Sure. Without that sword, I'm merely the greatest necromancer, powerful arcane caster, wielder of every psychic power, holder of world-ending strength, the power of a demon lord, and let's not forget the reincarnation of Cretan." Cracking his knuckles, the dark figure approached Garyx. The two met in the middle of the room. "We shall see, human." Bright light erupted in the room, emanating from one of the rings Garyx wore. Slamming into the back wall, the dark figure could not move. The light did not dim as Garyx placed his hand around his neck. "I hope the others are watching so that I can get a better challenge than this when I come for them." A smile grew on the dark figure's face. "Oh, you have something to say. What could that possibly be?" He moved his ear close to the dark figure's lips. The dark figure whispered, "You are touching me." Slimy, dark skin crawled off of the dark figure and onto the hand of Garyx. The dark man laughed as his opponent's arm was enveloped with that slimy darkness. Garyx threw the dark figure across the room. The light from his ring ended, returning the room to darkness. "Sorry, person!" Garyx cast a spell. "Damn it. Garyx, that is the only one of those spells we have." "Then you should have done something," Garyx retorted to Dagon. The slime evaporated, freeing Garyx from the awful effect. The dark man stood up, also recovering. "I am glad I was wrong about how dependent you are on that sword. Eternity is boring, even under the employ of the goddess Loth." Psychic energy surrounded the body of Garyx. "Allow me to try something." "By all means, Dagon, do whatever you want." "Dagon is dead." The dark figure cocked his head, confused. Green portals opened across the room, and out flooded tentacles. "Am I?" came Dagon's voice, echoing. Grabbing a hold of the dark figure, the tentacles prevented him from moving. Slime dripped from him, falling through those slimy tendrils, unable to jump onto the astral forms. Dagon and Garyx laughed. "Believing I am useless without one of my many abilities is why you are dead," the wizard said. Without allowing him a chance to respond, he was ripped apart by those astral projecting tentacles. Shadows dispersed as the dark figure was no more. The green bubbles surrounded the remains of the dark figure, preventing his death throes from having any effect. "You were almost creative with the tentacles, Dagon," Garyx said, waving his hand, summoning his sword. The weapons flew into his hand with no problem. Grabbing it, he smiled. "Are you arguing the results?" "No." Walking out of the room, the portal waited just on the other side. 25 more abysmal layers remain. Clemo and the Metamind. Why not flood the Book of Garyx with your army of Reds? Magic Climo asked, raising a finger. Garyx has set up countless contingencies. One such scenario would cause my demise if I do as you suggested. I believe your biggest problem is not Garyx, but Guardian, Magic suggested. The Metamind waved his hand, forming an image of the top of the city of Mount Skyborn. This has the highest concentration of my worshippers. Garyx has corrupted the majority of my followers throughout the world. Twinkle stepped forward. Yeah, but you stole those worshippers from deity. How are you any more justified? What even makes you a good god? Gray also stepped forward. We might have been incredibly busy dealing with Red, but we are not oblivious to what has been happening. We know that your angels have fucked up. Your angels represent you. Enough. You have the option of going your separate ways. Either you fight for me or leave. I have evil gods to destroy. Gray looked at the youngest Climo. Junior would go with you no matter what. She looked back at the Metamind. We aren't going to follow him if he goes with you. This is where we go our separate ways. Besides, there is nothing evil about Guardian. Twinkle placed his hands on his swords. I agree with Gray on this one. These god battles are a problem you have created, Metamind. While we are grateful you have put Red in check, we have no desire to join you on this suicide mission. Looking at Magic Climo, the Metamind asked, What about you? Do you agree with those two? Magic nodded his acknowledgement to the question. So be it. He turned to the one-eared Climo. Let us depart, friend. Climo shook his head. Not this time, Jason. I know you expected me to join you, but I am needed with my brothers and sister. The Metamind held a face with genuine surprise. I wish you luck, Jason. Without a word, the four Climos vanished, teleporting away. Narrowing his eyes, the Metamind looked at Ross Carvanister, then to Red Climo. You will have to do. We had a deal. You are supposed to keep me safe in your heaven, the dragon in human form stated. This god ignored the words, teleporting himself and Red away. Mount Skyborn. Siege weapons stood at the ready at the base of this massive mountain. Thousands of soldiers stood before those weapons in formation and ranks. A general on horseback sat quietly waiting for his forces to be ready. No one said a word. All were focused. Floating above and all around these soldiers and siege weapons numbered in the tens of thousands of invisible human eyes. Angels, far more than the Metamind had at his disposal. These angels were placed strategically apart from one another at a precise distance for maximum effectiveness. They had a formational grid. Above all of this floated a massive dragon mounted by an armored angel. On the top of the mountain, the Metamind, Red Climo, and Ross Carvanister looked at the forces down below. How do you expect to beat all of that? Red asked. You will fight the angels. What about the siege weapons and army? Red asked. My people with their amazing psychic and magical talents will defend their city. Climo might be able to take down an army of angels, and your people just might be enough to handle themselves in a battle at their doorstep. But what of that mighty dragon there? That thing is more powerful than even me, Ross Carvanister said. I can handle that. The dragon in human form shook his head, disapproving. You are terrible at this. By directly intervening, you will give Guardian a reason to do the same. And from what I have seen, he is more powerful than you. Turning to Ross Carvanister, the Metamind looked down on him. What would you do different? Ross Carvanister smiled. I would go after Garyx first. Red might be able to handle these angels, but he will be expended and probably useless for a while after that. You only want his divinity. So, why should my personal motives matter? I am right regardless. You are about to lose everything. If you killed Garyx, then tackled Guardian, you could do it all on your terms instead of theirs. Fighting like this gives both of those gods a massive advantage over you. My people need me. Now, if I attack Garyx first, this would leave my people defenseless. Suddenly a god has difficulty twisting time to their advantage? The red-robed man asked. I could twist time with ease, as you suggest. It would change nothing. How so? Red asked. Guardian has chosen this moment intentionally. I have to fight this fight, but I have to do it without directly helping. All right. Let's hear what you will do, Red said. Red, you are my best indirect weapon. Red laughed, folding his 6 arms. Yeah, I know. I still do not understand why you have to fight now instead of twisting time later, Roskar Vonisher said. The Metamind looked at the disguised dragon. Guardian and myself are already battling. Our fight has already begun, and I cannot escape or postpone it. How many dimensions are you fighting on? The dragon asked. Currently, Guardian and I sit in an endless plane that only the 2 of us occupy. Time is eternal within the blink of an eye. In this place, we are only discuss and conversate. We are engaged in the 5th dimension as well. This god opened his palm, conjuring an image of himself and the armored god sitting at a table while a hurling sun revolved around within seconds, altering night and day in less than a second. He waved his hand, dismissing the image. A new image conjured in its stead. This jumble of colors and shapes is impossible for your limited minds to fully comprehend. It is the 5th dimension, and in here, other gods watch our fight. The type of fighting in here is impossible to describe, for there are no mortal words that can fit to allow you to understand. Waving his hand again, altered the image to show the surface of the star that Corvus revolved around. This is a battle we wage. On this star, we are both harnessing its power to attack one another. 2 figures were seen throwing spiraled flames at each other, as well as striking one another with channeled fire from the star itself. How many other ways are you currently battling? Red asked. 7. The image altered, showing 7 different pictures all at once. A microscopic fight is happening, where we push and pull the very molecules in the air to our advantage and disadvantage at attacking each other. Pointing at the second image, he continued, here is one of our 3 mental fights. This is inside the heads of our worshippers. I am attacking their beliefs, while he is attacking to bolster them. He is attacking my worshippers in the same manner as I am defending them in the same manner. Red pointed at the 3rd image. That is the astral plane. Your spectral versions are really going at it. They throw a multitude of powers and interesting things around. Is that a planet Guardian is trying to crush you with? Yes. Looking into the 4th image, Red laughed. This looks like you are racing. Why? Sighing, the Metamind responded. It is a sort of race, yes. The 2 of us are currently expending divine energy, speeding throughout the multiverse in an attempt to drain each other. The loser of this race will be drained. The victor will gain that much power from the other. Red contorted his face. Why would either of you agree to such a thing? Neither of us did. This was a different god's idea. We were pushed into it. It looks like he's winning. The Metamind did not respond. Red shrugged, looking at the 5th picture. It showed Guardian moving through a dark labyrinth. What is going on there? The fifth and sixth are tied together. We have both created a challenge for the other. This has weakened both of us. Whichever one escapes first will be bolstered that much more and will most likely crush the other. It is hard to tell what is going on there. If I have to guess, it looks as though Guardian is faring better than you are in that as well. Guardian is winning in every fight, save the last one you have not looked at. That is the mental fight that is the only advantage I have. So what you are saying is your worshippers are on their own. I cannot help them. Roskar von Urser snapped his fingers, getting the attention of the other two. Well, you should be grateful that Guardian is a god of law. His angels will not interfere unless you do. Should your people overcome on their own, they will not be targeted for additional attacks by Guardian. I know. Sending Red would count as interference. I know. Red shrugged. Your people are fucked. If my people die, I will have no worshippers, which means I will have no divinity. Meh, you're a terrible god anyways, which means you will cease to exist. How easy you forget that your fate is leashed to mine. The ruins of a destroyed city in an uninhabited universe. The four Klimo comrades materialized in the center of a desolate street. Gray, Twinkle, and Junior looked around with their weapons raised for any sign of trouble. I believe we are alone here, Gray said, lowering her blades. Twinkle confirmed by nodding. Magic, why are we here? Junior asked. Magic raised his hand, showing everyone his ring. The gray was flashing. Do you see that? Everyone nodded and shrugged. Magic pointed at it with his free hand. This is bad. My ring, like your sword's, is sentient. It is a psychic ring with a mind of its own. Yeah, we already knew this, Junior interrupted. Magic placed his fingers against his lips, making a shushing sound. You do not understand, brother. This ring has the ability to store spells, allowing me to cast far more. It also has a very unique feature to it, similar to your swords. He pointed at Junior. Can copy any power. This ring can detect phenomenal changes in time. It has not stopped flashing since we met with the new god, the Metamind, just now. What sort of time change do you think has occurred? Twinkle asked. Magic shrugged. It could be anything, which is why we are here in our old city. Lead the way, Gray said. My old quarters here. It is a small building, but I used powerful magic to make it far bigger on the inside. Gray and Twinkle, you have seen before. The four disappeared, teleporting to a small, windowless building with only one door. The size of this was that of a broom closet. Opening the door revealed the inside was larger. Compressed space. Impressive, Junior commented as he walked in. Magic raised a finger, correcting Junior. Not exactly. Similar to your god's heaven, it is a demi-plane. Sheathing their weapons, the four Klimos examined Magic's home. He pointed at a mat directly in front of them. Make sure you step on that, please. I do not need a dirty home. Magic stepped on it first. A chain reaction was created from stored arcane power inside of that square piece of carpeting. His body, clothing, personal items, and hair all lit up from the brief magical effect that happened from stepping on that spot. The power dimmed, and Magic stepped off. There, you see? He pointed at himself. I am clean. Now do the same, please. One by one, they each in turn stepped on the mat that magically cleaned. Follow me, he instructed his comrades. They formed a line, walking through a hallway that was lined with an endless supply of books. Hey, Magic, Clemo ran to the front to walk next to the leader. Can you explain this time change at all? What would you like to know? Well, for starters, you seem convinced that it has something to do with us. That's because it does. They turned a corner, entering a large alchemical room. You see, Junior, my ring can only detect time changes that have significance to me. It doesn't detect all time changes? Magic Clemo chuckled. No. I know it's hard to understand, but I will try to explain. You see, time changes happen a lot. Since time is the fourth dimension, it stands to reason that it can be altered by something powerful enough. Let me tell you, brother, the multiverse is full of very powerful things. How will you figure out what has changed? Also, what will you do about it? They entered another room. Inside, a large spherical crystal that took up the center. Along the walls, a variety of oddly shaped crystals dangled by an unseen force holding them in the air. I can figure it out using this room, Magic answered. The other three Clemos entered this room, looking around, not knowing what to do or what to say. Have a seat, friends. Magic snapped his fingers, conjuring 4 chairs that faced this crystal ball. Does every wizard have a crystal ball? Junior asked. Yes, they do, Twinkle said, annoyed, but not by the question, but by the truth of the question. And all of them are really proud of them. Hey, Magic waved his hands, getting their attention. Wizards work really hard on their scrying devices. This particular one is better than any other I have ever seen. Twinkle leaned towards Junior to whisper. That's what they all say. Watch this, Magic said, snapping his fingers, activating his crystal ball. The glass glimmered and then revealed the 4 walking into this room. This was just a moment ago. Watch this. Magic disappeared, teleporting away. His body materialized within the screen, standing just behind Twinkle and Junior as he whispered into his ear. Magic slapped Twinkle before he could whisper his mocking words. Then he teleported away. Magic reappeared where he was before teleporting a few seconds to the past. Twinkle, do you remember me slapping you a few seconds ago? Yes. Why did you do that? And do you recall what you told Junior? No. His hand outstretched with his confusion. How could I? I never had a chance to speak to him. Excellent. Now look at my ring. Holding his ring up, the others saw it flashing. Now let's watch my crystal ball to see what happened if I had not slapped you. The 4 watched the image before them as it displayed, Twinkle whispering. That's what they all say. Gray and Magic looked at Twinkle, frowning. Then everyone looked at Magic for an explanation. I have altered time. Yet, it was in a very small way. However, as you can see, my better-than-average crystal ball can show us both what the change was and what the original was. I see. So you intend on figuring out what it was that Jason changed? Junior summarized. Junior surmised. Correct, and I am willing to bet it has something to do with red. The cultist cavern. Lazan looked at the mass amount of eggs as they cracked open, hatching. 3 draconic men stood behind him. Another walked to him. Lazan, this town has been purified, he said. Lazan looked away from the hatching and to the messenger. Everyone has converted to the word of Garyx, and those who did not convert, have they been killed? The messenger nodded. Yes, today is a great day for Garyx. Lazan chuckled. Every day is a great day for our Lord Garyx. Our purpose is nothing more then to make it a great day for everyone else. Look, my pupil, at the new blood. Lazan pointed across the room, showing the newly hatched dragon men. They are complete with their birth. I am happy to hear we are done with another human town. It will not be long before humans are extinct. Come, we will take flight to the next place. Lazan walked away, followed by the 3 draconic men behind him. The messenger walked alongside, while still conversing. Is our next destination Babylon? Lazan didn't look at the messenger while talking. No. It is the will of Garyx that we save that one for last. They are strong, and while we are stronger individually, Garyx, with his infinite wisdom, needs us to be stronger before taking down this strongest human city. We convert the rest of Corvus first. Everyone exited the cave. Lazan looked at his army of dragon men. Behind them, the newly hatched dragon men exited the cave next. Another dragon man approached Lazan with a map. Unraveling it revealed the world of Corvus. Pointing at a city north of Babylon, Lazan spoke again. This is Herod. We convert them next. Garyx has told me that after we have a very special purpose. Come, my brothers and sisters, Garyx has given us purpose. Everyone waited for Lazan to go first. His wings spread out, flapping his body into the air. By his own wing movements, he hovered. They followed suit, ascending into the air. The dragon men of Garyx numbered in the tens of thousands. Together, they flew to Herod. End of Chapter 9.